Okay, guys, let's start on Venus and Gemini. I first go with the flow energy. You usually always hear the air, but you can really hear the faint. I know that has nothing to do with nothing, but let's get into it, Gemini. Um, Geminis are the communicators. They rule communications of all 12 zodiacs. So if you are a person that's dating a Venus and Gemini, conversation will rule a nation with them. I'm talking about if you can hold a conversation, because everybody say they can have a conversation, but not everybody can hold a conversation. If you can hold a conversation with a Venus and Gemini, you winning, because their mind has to constantly be stimulated at all times. So anytime that you are dating or married to a Venus and Gemini, you need to know that you have to be open-minded, very, very open-minded with them, because their mind has to be stimulated at all times. So if you are a person that's kind of closed-minded or always serious all the time, it's going to be hard for the relationship to kind of be smooth, because the things that most people wouldn't laugh about, Geminis have fun with it. That's just Venus and Gemini, because that's a part of their love language, because they are like the childlike zodiac of all 12 zodiacs. So they're very youthful. Not saying they childish, they're just youthful. Their mind is always going to remain fresh. That saying, you're only as old as you feel. Geminis will never feel old, because their mind is constantly young. That's how strong the mind is. And Geminis know that. Venus and Geminis know that. Okay? So here are some things that I've done, because anytime that you are with a Venus and Gemini, get to know them. Get to know them. What makes them laugh? What is their favorite color? What are some things that upset them? What movies do they like? What are some things that they're interested in? Then tell them some things that because Venus and Geminis, they love to learn. They love to learn. So if you are a person that can teach them a little bit of something that they didn't know, they're going to be like, what? Because whether things are on good terms or on bad terms, they want to always know that they have gained a level of knowledge from the relationship itself. But the idea is to keep the relationship flowing. So always be open-minded when it comes down to Venus and Gemini. Another thing about Venus and Gemini is they're very spontaneous. So if you are a person that's always like by the book when it comes down to scheduling and planning and going places and stuff like that, they'll do that. But a Venus and Gemini is much more fun when you just do it. Hey, you want to go out of town? Hey, yeah. They love that. I'm not saying that's how they're going to react, because we're talking about a man here. But just know that if their schedule is open, they're going to go. Venus and Gemini also are social people. So, they can do gatherings, family gatherings and stuff like that. Venus and Geminis, okay? So, if you have a group of friends that, come by the house and y'all having couples night and couples retreat and stuff like that, Venus and Geminis, they like that. All of it deals with communication. They also love flirting. Okay? So they're also a sign that loves to be flirted with. So flirting is always good when it comes down to a Venus and Gemini, alright? Continue flirting with them because they love it. Traveling. Okay? I said that before, but I'm going to tell you a few things I have done with a Venus and Gemini. I have traveled to go see them. Money, I'm not gonna lie to you, your girl is braided. So he almost had haircuts almost every 2 days. I don't even know nobody here that grow that fast, but his line was crisp. Do you hear me? But um, clothes, all that stuff. He had clothes, but you know, I just would go places and see if he like it, or if he was the type of person, um, always had like an agenda or something like that. I would call him and ask him, hey, you need a couple of dollars, you need, and I drop off 250 here, 250 there, 500 there, like I'm dropping off money. And I know a lot of people like, I wouldn't do that, but it ain't tricking if you got it. So at that time I had it. So, and I was still immature when it came down to investing in self, and I wasn't quite there yet. Even though I hustled all my life, but I had a good paying job, and I didn't mind. I always was there. Even when he got locked up, and I know it's a mind thing when it comes down to a man being locked away or something like that. We were broken up, but I still went to go see him, simply because it's a mind thing, and communication, just as simple as communication. He was satisfied and he was happy with that, But that's the ride of our days. We're not gonna keep getting into that. But I've done a lot of things. Also, I would always check on him. When you always check on a Venus and Gemini to see how they doing, that means a lot to them. It really does. It will always stay on their mind for a long time. Just don't come off like you trying to manipulate them, because Gemini men are very, very witty. Venus and Gemini, period, are very, very witty people. But Geminis are witty. But Venus and Gemini men, when it comes down to they love unconditionally. They love unconditionally. I don't care how bad it is. They love unconditionally. You been broke up, moved on with your life, everything. They still gonna love you like they met you the day before. They gonna love you just the same. They gonna always love you. Their heart gonna always melt for you. They always going to feel something for you. You will always be unforgettable to them. That's a Venus in Gemini. They also love comedy. You will find a lot of Venus and Gemini, when they watch movies, they watch a lot of things that has some form of comedy in it. Something that's going to make them laugh, because they love to laugh. They love to be in that youthful energy. So, laughter is actually healing to the soul, and smiling keeps the muscles fresh in the face. So you will always see somebody that have a Gemini placement laughing, tripping, whether they serious or whether they not. They gonna keep a smile on their face. So that's how I'm gonna wrap it up for Venus and Gemini. I hope that y'all got as much information as you possibly needed, and I hope you grab something out of that. Continue making your man happy. Continue being the person that keeps a smile on his face, and continue being his peace. Find some funny movies that y'all can watch. I can give you a few suggestions. There's Old School. That's a funny movie. Okay. Super Bad. I know these movies are pretty previous, but they still funny. Due Date. Watch stuff like that. It's a different culture, but at the same time, it's still hilarious, and it keeps their mind off of trauma and things that has happened. So try that. They will love it. Y'all be blessed.